Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, probably the prettiest base around.
It is pretty. It kind of set a precedent with me. It's kind of like.
Oh, yeah. Even the Canax is
And then I remember going to the one in Cold Lake, and I was so disappointed. I was like, "Well, this is pretty boring. Where's the museum?"
Hello, everyone. As alluded to earlier, we went off to CFB Shiloh, which is located about 35 kilometers east of Brandon and adjacent to the town of Spruce Woods in Manitoba. However, the main reason for going to the base was to see the Royal Canadian Artillery Museum, which has one of the largest displays of military vehicles and artillery in Canada. The museum also gives a history of the base, which began in 1910 with the establishment of Camp Sewell, which later moved its operations to Shiloh in 1933, which provided a 100,000-acre training area. The area around Shiloh also has an ideal soil profile of sand and gravel, which is ideal for artillery and munitions training. In this room, they had their gun vault. From what I could see, they had a good collection of handheld weapons, some dating back to the 1700s. The collection included rifles, pistols, and other handheld weapons. Some early 1700s pistols, which appear to be cap and ball type. A good collection of the iconic Colt revolver. They even had the old flintlock rifle, the Brown Bess. Not sure how old this one was, but they started making them in 1722. AK-47s. Some early artillery pieces in this room, again dating back to the 1700s for some of them. They also indicated that there was an artillery piece from the Louis Riel Rebellion, but unfortunately I was not able to figure out which one that was. They also had some old uniforms to try on if you wished. They seemed to be from the Boer War to about World War II.
Hate to tell you this, but I don't think they ever fit.
It's like trying to balance a jug of water on your head.
Another artillery piece. Judging by his helmet, this is possibly from the Boer War era. Yeah, this one was interesting. It was a mock-up of a World War I gun emplacement. Some other pieces from World War I. This, I believe, was a Bofors light anti-aircraft gun, most likely from the World War II time. It was an interesting museum in the sense that the mannequins were so lifelike and individualized. I never had a chance to ask the museum about that. They also had an interesting read on giving a history of the military in the province of Manitoba. This part of the museum commemorated those in Manitoba who received the Victoria Cross, of which there was 13. The two Victoria Crosses are the ones on the left, shown here in the decorations. This one I found out is an M7 self-propelled howitzer. It must have served with the US Army, as there's a white star on the side of it. As you can see, you were allowed to walk up to the top deck area of the piece. Looking at the gun, I'm pretty sure that's a 105mm artillery piece. The day we were there, they had one motorcycle on display. This one is a BSA that's been painted in Army colors. These two are 155mm howitzers. The one in the back is the M109 self-propelled howitzer. This was pretty interesting. This exhibit tells the story of Canada's mission in Afghanistan. I'm not sure if it's part of their permanent display. They may have been just hosting it at the time we were there. The exhibit was very good at displaying the experiences that Canadian soldiers went through when they were fighting in Afghanistan. This display shows the rear window of a patrol vehicle damaged by small arms fire. And this one showed the results of IEDs. The exploded ammo box is the result of a fire inside an armored vehicle. This part of the exhibit showed the results of 2 attempted suicide bombers when they tried to attack the base. Luckily, they were not successful. The red ribbon dangling near the gas tank was a signal to local residents to stay away. And in a separate case, you can see the impression of the chain link fence in a fragment of this truck.